What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rustomod Garage. In the last episode, you saw us put our interior out of an old Volvo into our 1950 Willys Wagon that we put on a Jeep Wrangler frame. Now, we're trying to make this a luxury interior, so we have to dial in the interior to make sure it's nice. So when we drive it down the road, it's like a modern luxury car. So now we're going to work on the steering and the brakes, but first we got to get our body situated onto our frame. Alright, we're back on the Jeep. We are going to lift the body back off the frame because we want to add some spacers to the body to raise it up a little bit. You can see whenever we put these wheels on, we have some pretty low body clearance on the back. So we want to try to bump the body up to see what it looks like with some spacers on the body. We have to add some rubber anyway to it, so it'll lift it up a little bit anyway. And we actually got our injection pump back in the mail, so that way we can put the injection pump back on, bolt the transmission and stuff together for the last time. That way everything's torqued, and all we have to do is put the body, bolt the body down, and then start working on plumbing and wiring and everything like that. Alright, so now you can kind of see the mounts in here. Here's the front one. Definitely raised it up a little bit, and we have a bit more clearance over the rear wheel for sure, so hopefully it won't hit the body as bad as we would. You can see we have just that inch mount on every body mount, so help raise it up some. But that's what it looks like. So I'm out here in the back of the shop going through some of the parts that we're going to need and trying to retrieve some stuff that we can use from the donor Jeep where we got our frame from, and then so I can put them onto the Willys body. So I'll show you what parts we're going to take off the Jeep, and then we can attach those parts to the new Willys. So here's the original Willys frame, still out here, just pulling parts off of it and stuff like that that we need. I ended up selling the motor that was out of the original TJ Jeep, and the body is up here. So I'm actually going to need to grab the pedal assembly and the booster and some other stuff off of this thing so we can use it on the new Willys project, because on the original Willys the master cylinder and all the brake stuff is mounted to the frame, and so on this one we wanted to make it a little bit easier, mount it to the firewall. So we're going to try to take all the stuff off this Jeep and then mount it to the firewall. That way we don't have to buy anything, and we already have the booster and everything from the Jeep itself, so we can just retrofit those parts to the old Willys body. So I'm gonna pull that stuff off real quick and see how bad this stuff is to get off. Alright, so this is the remnants of the Wrangler that we're using for the donor Jeep. So we still have the body. We didn't want to sell it just because we have this stuff so we can use parts for this situation. So we have the master cylinder we're probably going to take off, and this was a manual Jeep, so we sold that transmission like I said, but we want to be able to use the brake pedal and the gas pedal and everything from this Jeep so we can put it in the old Jeep. So I'm going to try to pull this stuff off, see how bad it is. Alright, so you can kind of see under here, it looks like we're going to have to take all this bracket off to be able to get all the pedals and stuff out. So it doesn't look too bad, they're actually not that rusted. So we'll pull all this bracketry out so that way we can access our pedals, and then we can fit them to the booster that we already have and then into our Jeep. Buying a whole Jeep like this is pretty nice, because if we just bought the frame, then we wouldn't be able to use the booster or the pedals or any of the other parts that we could get off of the body here. So that's why whenever we do a project car like this, like when I did the C10, I bought a whole Escalade, and then I could part it out and make some money back, and I could get all of the different parts that I would probably have to buy if I just bought a bare frame or something like that. So if you could find a project where it's kind of a whole car like this, definitely a little bit better than just buying the piece that you actually need. So just a tip if you guys are doing a project kind of like this. cut it out. Alright, so you can see our booster just came off whenever I pulled the rest of the pedal assembly off, and all the pedals are out of it. So that's going to be the pedals that we're going to use in the Willys. Obviously the Willys is automatic, so we're probably going to have to cut the clutch pedal off of this bracket. Maybe we can modify the bracket a little bit, but for the most part, we got all the pedals that we need, and the brake and the booster, so that can go and retrofit into the firewall of the Willys. So that's what's kind of nice about having the entire Jeep. You can pull this stuff off, and it's a little stuff like that that you don't really think of on a project where you're building the entire car, pedals and everything like that. It's gonna cost you a couple $100, but if you can manage to get the entire project, you can just pull them out of that, and it'll definitely save you in the long run. So we're gonna put this stuff on the Jeep, figure out how it's gonna have to be mounted to the firewall, and we'll see you when we put that thing on. And also we can use our brake pedal switch from there and our brake fluid level switch from there. So all the little sensors and stuff like that we still use from these existing pedals. Alright, now that we got our booster and our pedals, I'm going to start removing all the stuff from the under the hood, and then remove all the wiring under the dash so we can get that out of the way, so that way we can figure out where these pedals have to sit and how we're going to situate the pedals and our steering column to be able to fit where we need it to. Alright, got this mess out of there. Much nicer, and you can actually see the firewall and the fuse box and everything else. So now we can actually see what we're doing back there and start to figure out what's going to go behind the dash. So this is actually the heater box, and it runs the heater core and everything inside. So we have to get this off, but it's a pretty cool box. Might be able to use it for something else in the future. Alright, so now that we've got everything cleared out from under the dash, we're going to start putting in our steering column. Now this is going to dictate where the pedals are going to go and where the seats are going to sit. So we're going to make some brackets up, put it together, and see where this thing is going to fit, and if it'll even fit in the same spot that it did initially with the original Willys steering column that was in there. Now this is a universal column, so we did have to make some brackets for it, but it looks like they fit pretty good, and everything should line up where the original column went before, whenever we pulled it out of the Willys. So you just gotta go into these bolts here? Yeah. Alright, so the pedals that we got out of the Jeep Wrangler body are in there just with a, we have it with a magnet holding it in place, but they line up pretty good with the gas pedal and everything like that. So that looks like that's gonna work really nice. And then the bolt holes that hold the bracket in also hold the booster in, so that would work perfect. So we just gotta mount that pedal where that is, and then that should be our brake pedal and power brakes and everything on the firewall. The angle that we have this steering column in isn't the best angle to line up with the steering column location that was on the Wrangler originally. So if we line this up where that has to line up here, it's gonna interfere with our alternator. Actually, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a very dramatic angle. So if we could move this up some, then that would help the angle of the Wrangler column, and it would help the angle of this. So we were just kind of putting it through the floor where the original column was, but in reality it needs to move up some. So we ended up marking it up here, and we're going to try to slide the column through here, and that way the column here can be at a much better angle, and it will just be better all around. We can get to the alternator, the steering column is at a much more gradual angle, and it'll help our angle here not being so straight up and down, and it will move it up, get some more footroom and stuff. So that's what we're going to do now, try to drill a hole for the column to go through. Alright, so now the steering column is in at the new angle. You saw us just drill the hole, and now that is at a much better spot for the column to work. So this, we'll just have to get a joint to connect the two, and that should probably be a lot better than what it was. Alright, so now that we got our steering column in position where we want it, we can go ahead and start marking where the brake pedals will mount to, and whenever we drill these holes, the booster will just mount into those holes as well. It's really nice about this Wrangler pedal setup is it only has one bolt connecting the clutch pedal and the brake pedal, so all you have to do is pull that bolt out, and then you can attach a clutch pedal to it or detach the clutch pedal, like in our case where we don't need it since we're putting an automatic in this. Alright, so that's what our pedal is going to look like. It's just going to bolt right through those holes there, and then the master cylinder will go right through the firewall in the hole that we drilled, and that lines up pretty good with the steering column, and we can make a cross bracket to bolt to some bracketry in there to stiffen it up some. So now we'll just install the booster and we'll see how everything looks together. Alright, and so that's what it's going to look like with our booster installed. It looks pretty good, and it has plenty of hood clearance and everything like that. These Jeeps originally didn't have a booster on the firewall, obviously it was on the frame. So now we can just feel out where we got to get the seat mounted to, but everything seems to fit really nicely, and the seating position seems really comfortable, because since we have an adjustable column that tilts, that helps a lot too. But trying to dial in if the pedals are too high or too low definitely makes the drivability of the vehicle a lot easier and a lot comfortable, since we want to make this interior as nice as we can. And this is our final product. We got our seats in there and we got our steering column mounted. I think it's looking pretty good, but we'll have to see what cool things we're going to do next on the next episode. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe so you can see what we're going to do on the next episode. Also check out our Patina Party Car Show we're having August 13th at Maryland International Raceway. You can go to patinaparty.com to register for that show. I hope we see you guys out there, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.